In current times, when women are encouraged to do big things, to break the glass ceiling, to do amazing things just like men do, and moms are simultaneously judged no matter what they choose, be it being a stay-at-home mom and devoting themselves fully to motherhood, or working outside the home, or a balance of both, it can often feel like the best thing to do is just stay in your lane. Stick with the status quo. Don't try to put too much on your plate because you feel so many different voices in your head telling you to do different things. While there is absolutely nothing wrong with, staying in your lane or being a full-time mom or anything in between, I also think that I really want to share with you guys that it's so important that moms should dream big if they feel compelled to do so, if they have a big dream on their heart. I fully believe, especially moms, should go after their dreams for many, many reasons. And so I think a few of you, many of you, who knows, are waiting for a message like this. And I just felt it on my heart today to share that with you as a fellow dreamer who has worked super hard to make her dreams come true despite a lot of naysayers along the way and a lot of people not understanding. I want to talk to you guys today about why I think moms should dream big. Glue. It's messy, it's sticky, it gets everywhere, but it's also really useful. Just like the glue that we need to put together the pieces of our life as busy working moms. We have after-school activities, we have homework, we have cleaning, we have laundry, and, we want to spend time with our kids as well in the process and maybe even have some time for ourselves. This podcast is for the busy moms out there who are balancing work, life, and everything in between, and we all know that in between encompasses a lot of things. If you're a mom who wants to do the best in all areas of life but still have time for yourself, this podcast is for you. I love to interview other moms and find out what works for them, get ideas from them, get inspired by them, and learn, we're all in this together. But I also like to share my own tips, tricks, struggles, triumphs, and share it all with you. So grab a load of laundry, lock yourself in the bathroom, go for a walk, do whatever you got to do, but I am just so glad you're here. We live in a time when moms are, quite honestly, damned if they do and damned if they don't. No matter what you choose, somebody's going to be very strong in their belief that you are wrong. When it's potty training, when it's sleeping, when it's cry it out, when it's how you feed your child, whether you go to public school or private school or homeschool or out school or love school or what, I don't even know the names of all the different kinds of schooling there are, charter schools, everything you do, somebody is going to think you're wrong. And so it can be extremely hard to be a mom in this day and age. I know from experience, especially as a type A perfectionist who likes to, always choose the right thing. There's no right thing. Like anything you choose could be right and anything you choose can be wrong. And it's super stressful and it's a lot of pressure. And I totally feel for you guys if you are feeling the same thing. And I know it can be extremely hard to be a mom who wants to pour herself into motherhood, to be the best mom she can be, while also feeling like that may not be all that you're called to be. I was going to say it may not be enough. I hate that word. Obviously, as moms, like our children are enough for us. We love them. We are devoted to them. We want the best for them. But we are also human and we will not be moms to little kids forever, most likely. And so it's important that if we feel this void in our lives, like there's something that we are called to do that we are just not doing, or we're working, but it just doesn't feel right, I think it's totally okay, and not even just okay, but encouraged and amazing to have a dream and go after it. And I'm going to talk today about why I don't even think it's just okay. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I think it's something we should be doing if we feel called to do so. So this is not to shame any mom who feels really comfortable where she is. I think that's amazing. I think we are all called to do different things, and I think it's important to listen to your calling, to follow your heart, to really analyze how you're feeling, what's best for your family, what's best for your children, what's best for you. And if it's best for you to stay home during this season, that's amazing. If it's best for you and your family to work, and maybe it's not your passion, but it's what you got to do right now, that's totally fine. And if you're already doing something you love or a mixture, that is great. I am not here to shame any mom at all, but I am here to encourage you if you do feel pulled like you have that pull on your heart, like there's something more you want to be doing and you've been thinking about it and you've been putting it off and you aren't quite sure what it is, or maybe you know exactly what it is, but it will take a lot of time or it'll be really expensive, or you're really stressed out already and you just don't know how you're going to fit it in, this message is for you to give you that little kick in the pants that I think you need. Because if you've listened to my episode 2, all about my postpartum depression story, the last thing I want for anybody is to have to hit rock bottom and be literally near taking your own life to, move toward the direction of your dreams. I do not want anybody else to get to that point. I know that's an extreme situation, but that is exactly what happened to me. And I will do whatever it takes to use my story and my platform to help others. And so I really don't want anybody to go through that path that I went to. It did work. But it doesn't always work for everybody. It doesn't always end like it did for me, which is really sad. But that is why I feel so strongly about this message, because you only have one life to live, and being so close to giving up my life and not wanting to live my life anymore, I realize just how precious each day is, how amazing this opportunity is to be a mom, and that you can do mom things and do things for yourself. And it's okay to do both. You don't have to choose one over the other. Okay, so let's just get right into it. Why do I think it's not only just okay, but it's great and amazing for moms to dream big, to go after their dreams, to have big goals, to go after being more than a mom? First, I truly believe we have dreams for a reason. I believe dreams are put on our hearts, not just for our own benefits, but for the benefit of others. I am a Christian, so I do believe God leads us in different ways. But regardless of what you believe, I think so many of us have felt that calling in some part of our life. And when we followed it, amazing things happen. Maybe not right away. Maybe hindsight is 20/20 and we realized it looking back. But I truly believe there's some kind of divine power on our lives, and that we have these dreams for a reason. Looking at me, I have never really talked openly about work-life glue and my dream for that. Back when I was doing daycare, I get asked all the time if, I plan to stick with daycare forever. And quite honestly, I didn't, but I always answered it saying, I just don't know what the future holds, which is true. I never lied about it, but, I wasn't about to be like, no, I don't think I'm going to do daycare. And, I had families who were watching and stuff. It just wouldn't have been professional. But I have felt, I remember in college, during summer break, just walking down the street, and I don't really know what, but I remember thinking, I'm going to be a jack of all trades. I'm going to do a few different things, and I'm going to not do the path that everybody else is doing, and everybody else is in quotes because we're all doing different things. There's no one thing that every mom is doing, but I didn't think I was going to just follow the college job, stay at that job, or get a different career, go back to school and stick with a new job for long periods of time. I really did feel the entrepreneurial spirit very young. Even looking back, I was building websites in middle school before that was even a thing, really. I taught myself HTML, and it was just something I was really passionate about. And I don't really know why, but that's just kind of where my life had led me. And I really loved writing, and I just felt so called to do something. Did I know what it was? No, I've always wanted to write a book. That's still a dream of mine, but I just knew that I needed to listen to my heart. And I followed that even when it was scary. I was a teacher for a couple years, and then I realized it just wasn't for me. It was really, really hard. I just didn't feel fulfilled at all. And that's not to knock the kids or the school or anything. It just wasn't aligned with me. And so I quit, and I didn't even have a plan, which is kind of scary now looking back, but I didn't have kids at the time. And so I ended up finding a nanny job, and I did that for a few years, and then got pregnant, moved, and then started my daycare. And that's what I did. And that's when I really realized that I wanted to be a voice for moms. I wanted to help other moms and just, share my life in a way that's going to be powerful and inspirational and motivational to other moms, and to be a different voice than those that are online, because I think a lot of them are sharing perfectionism and looking perfect and being perfect and not making mistakes. And I just am not all about that. I really want to be an authentic, vulnerable, realistic view, at least from my perspective. And I think, although I haven't grown super quickly, that's not what it was about for me. It's always been about finding like-minded moms, giving them encouragement, helping them out, and just being a voice. And so now that is my job. Like, it seems kind of crazy, but that truly is my dream, and I'm living it now. It took a long time, but I truly feel that I was put in this path for a reason. And so just to share that, to give you guys a perspective of where I'm coming from, I believe if you're still listening, there must be something pulling at your heart. There must be some kind of dream lurking in there, and maybe you don't even know what it is. Maybe you just know that what you're doing right now isn't what you're supposed to be doing. And so you're looking for inspiration, or you just happened upon this podcast, which I think is a sign. But use this as a time, now that you're listening, to think about what it might be that you do want to do. Maybe you write down some ideas, maybe not even of ideas of things you want to do, but just things that you want to be able to do. So for me, I wanted to be able to be home. I wanted to be able to work and be a mom at the same time. I wanted to be able to go places. I wanted to be free to make as much money or as little money as I want. I didn't want to be stuck in a job where I really couldn't, that couldn't fluctuate unless I got promoted or something like that. I wanted to be more in control of my income. So maybe make a list of things like that and just wait. Pray about it if you are a praying person, or just kind of wait for the right thing to come along. Maybe start reading books about it, listen to other podcasts, read. But I think, I've had so much, I call it divine inspiration while I'm driving, in the shower, stuff like that, or listening to podcast episodes or videos, when just the right thing came to me at the right time and it kind of clicked. That's how this podcast even came to be. I was driving. I don't even know what I was listening to, but it just was like, this is what I have to do. And when you feel that urge, I want you to listen to it, maybe journal about it, but just keep in mind, something in you is telling you to move down that path. So definitely listen to it, and just trust that your dream is there for a reason. You may not know what the reason is now, and the dream may evolve and change over time, but I think you really, just like people say to trust your mom gut, trust your mom instinct, trust your divine nature, trust your heart, trust that gut feeling that you need to be doing something different, or you need to be doing something in addition to what you're doing, or you need to make some changes in your life. Number 2, why I think moms dreaming big is so important. By dreaming big, you are teaching your children to do the same. They do as we do, not as we say. And I think we all understand this, especially as your kids get older. You hear them saying things and you realize that came right out of your own mouth, and that you see them doing things that you realize you do. And while it might feel okay as the parent, seeing it coming out of a child, or displayed through a child's actions, it feels pretty awful. So we all know that they learn by what we do way more than what we say. So even if we say dream big, go after your dreams, but we're not doing that, that's teaching them too. And I'm not saying if you don't dream big and you don't do anything at all beyond being a mom, that doesn't mean your kids won't make something of their lives. But if that is your dream, to be a stay-at-home mom, they are seeing that. They're seeing you pour your love into them. So I'm not saying you have to go build a multi-million-dollar business or start a school or feed children in Africa or whatever. I'm just saying what our motivations are matter, and our kids can see that. And when we tell them to go after their dreams, if we're not living that in some way, they're also more likely to not follow it either. So I think it's so important for our kids to see us putting ourselves first sometimes, to see us reading books, to see us, going to a seminar or going to meet with friends to talk about a business idea, or researching topics about starting an Etsy shop or starting a food truck or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be a business. It could be a hobby. It could be anything. But when they see us doing things beyond motherhood that we feel called to do, it's teaching them to do the same, to have passions, to go after them, to not squelch the desires of our heart. And they also see us blessing others through that. And I think it's a really powerful thing for our children to see. And it's the best way to teach them to do that themselves is by doing it ourselves. Also, by dreaming big, you're not just inspiring your kids, but you're also inspiring other moms to do the same. And I think as moms, we are our own worst critics of one another, but we can also be the most motivating people to one another. Women tear women down more than anybody else, but women can also build one another up like nobody else. And I think the more women that can be, carving these new paths for their family, doing these amazing things that they didn't let fear get in the way of, the more likely you are to help other moms do the same. And that's really a huge passion of mine. And even if that isn't your passion, it's just a side effect of you doing it. When people see you doing something and they think, hey, that's just Sarah. That's that person I know. Like, I'm not special, and I don't want people to think I'm like this super special person. I'm just a regular person, just like everybody else. And I want people to see if she can do it, then I can do it and be motivated to follow whatever dream it is. And the more moms who can do it, the more we're changing the whole world, which is really amazing. And that's number 4. Not only are you helping yourself, your kids, your spouse, and other moms, but you can change the world and impact lives by dreaming big. Maybe partially through your message of if you're starting a business or a brand, or your products, if you are selling products or your services, but also just through simply following your dream. Even if it's something that doesn't really end up affecting a lot of people specifically, just following your dream really does impact the world. The more people who are doing things they love, the more love you're putting out there. And the more love that's out there, the more the whole world benefits. I know that's kind of like a woo-woo thing, but I really do think, a little bit of kindness goes a long way. A little bit of dreaming big goes a long way, and it inspires everybody to do the same that comes into contact with you. And your vibe that you're putting into the world is something you're spreading to others. When you're at Target and you smile because you're having a great time because you love what you do, you're going to make the people around you feel better. Your friends are going to notice. Your colleagues are going to notice. Your pet is going to notice. Like, everybody will notice. And if you can make your little sphere of influence a better sphere, then those spheres will go off and make their spheres better. And it's just a ripple effect. And I truly believe the more positivity we can put into this world, the more positivity the world will have as a whole. It's a ripple effect, and it's a really beautiful thing. It's not something that we really see most of the time unless you're like Oprah. But I truly believe we don't all have to be like mega superstars or famous. Like, that's the last thing I want. I don't want to be famous. But our influence does matter, no matter how big it is or how small. You can make a difference in the world. I will definitely be talking a lot more about how to fit in a side hustle or a business or a dream in future episodes and different ideas and things like that. But I really just wanted to start here. I've, kind of touched on this in a lot of the interviews I've done about dreaming big and how it's okay to change careers. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to have a side hustle. It's all okay. It's as long as you're following your heart and doing what's best for your family and for you, I think it's great. And so I will be doing more specific episodes on things, but I just was really feeling it on my heart that maybe some people needed to hear this message that it's good to dream big. Don't cover up that part of yourself because you think you're supposed to just be focused on being a mom. I know there's seasons. I mean, I'm in a tough season right here with you guys. I have a little baby, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and life is crazy, but I'm not letting that stop me. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm using that to empower myself, because when I look at those 3 little girls, there's nothing I want more than to teach them to go after their dreams. I want to leave a legacy of dreaming big, of not fearing the risks, of feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and to making the world a bigger and better place. And I can only really do that by leading by example. And so when I see those little faces, That's what I think about. And that's what I want you guys to think about coming out of this episode is look at your kids and think, what legacy do I want to leave them with? And just really let that sit and ruminate for a while. And then hopefully some answers will come to you, and I will have more episodes in the future on this topic. I'm just going to do a mama seal of approval today. So many episodes I will share a product or service or website or app or whatever that I think can be really helpful. And to go along with today's episode, a product I have used for years are Laura Casey's Power Sheets. It's a goal planner now. She has it in a planner form that you can use every single month. And it's just a really great tool. It's carefully formulated and crafted over the years to really help you analyze where you're at in your life, to help you think about where you want to be, what things you want to say no to, what things you want to say yes to, and really help you think about what goals you want to have and how you can achieve them. So it's a really great step-by-step tool that has helped so many women out there go after their dreams, no matter how big, how small. Even if it's, running an amazing homeschool, maybe it's having an amazing garden or being a better wife or being a better mom. You don't have to have these gigantic goals. That's not what this episode is about. It's about following your heart. And this Power Sheets goal planner can really help you figure out what that even is and help you step by step, month by month, week by week, day by day, figure out, how to get from the start of the year where you're kind of like, this area of my life is okay, to, oh my gosh, at the end of 2021, I have made such progress in this area in just a year and I feel so great. And you can go back and actually see how you got there through the Power Sheets. I am not affiliated with them, but I absolutely love the Power Sheets. I've been using them for years, and they are just a great way, especially as a busy mom, to get all of those thoughts down. It's not my everyday planner. It's not really meant for that. You could use it that way, I suppose, but it's really just to focus on your goals and breaking them down. And then there's a tending list where you can hang that on your wall or put it in your planner and look at that every day to help you stay on top of the little things that will get you to your bigger goal. So I will have a link to that in the show notes. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have enjoyed this podcast, I would really appreciate if you would head to the bottom of the Apple Podcasts app under my Work Life Blue page and leave a rating and review. Ratings are great, but I absolutely love reviews as well. Tell me specifically what you're enjoying, and let others know as well, because there's so many podcasts out there, and I really want to reach the people who need my message. And I think it could really help a lot of people. So thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you guys soon. Go get something done. Go love on your kids and go live your dreams. I'll talk to you soon.